It was only a few years ago when we found out that Sony took Spider-Man out of the MCU and was going to add him to Venom 2 right before they started production. Then of course cooler heads prevailed and, well, we got Spider-Man No Way Home. And I'm pretty sure everybody is happy with the timeline we ended up in instead of the timeline we could have been in. Yes, I know that's hyperbole. I know not everybody's happy. I know that there's people that still hate the MCU and Spider-Man No Way Home, but look, it could have been much worse. So let's talk about the fallout and possible fallout in regards to Spider-Man 4. So this news comes at us directly from Marvel Studios' Kevin Feige speaking with the New York Times, where he talked a little bit about what happened after Spider-Man Far From Home, that fallout that happened between Sony, the character rights and everything, and of course, how they came back together, renegotiated new contracts, and the concept and ideas for Spider-Man 4 were brought up. And while he wouldn't go into any of them, he did say that the only thing right now that they want to focus on, that they don't want to repeat, is the separation trauma that happened after Far From Home, because he wants it to not happen again. He says that that will not be occurring this time, and while the conversation between Sony, Disney, and Marvel is always ongoing, that he believes that where they stand right now, everything works. There should be no fallout in regards to Spider-Man 4 unless something goes completely wrong. Now again, we don't know what exactly could go wrong, and it's one of those things where you have to just look at everything we've been presented as evidence and take it at face value, and we don't know anything beyond that. Now realistically, everybody would like to make a Spider-Man 4, but Sony would probably like to make a Spider-Man 4 that ties into all of their films, and vice versa, and try to get a little bit more of the MCU, into their universe. And as we've seen with the ending of Spider-Man, that's not really Kevin's thing. He doesn't want that. But they definitely left behind a couple of pieces of connective, tissue and story that they could deal with, which quite obviously is important here. And I think you have to look at the bigger picture of money is going to win out in the end. Had Sony gone on ahead and tossed Spider-Man into Venom Let There Be Carnage, there is no way that that film would have been as big as No Way Home. Only through what happened before were we able to get Spider-Man No Way Home the way it is now. And you would have to assume that everybody's going to come back together and try to make sure that everybody benefits from whatever deal they come up with next, because that's really the best solution. And as he says, they don't want to go through the same thing again. They don't want the fans to have that trauma. They don't want to find themselves in that trouble where suddenly they wake up one day and Spider-Man's gone. They will work together to make it right. He said that a couple times now, and I trust Kevin Feige in this regard. I think Spider-Man 4 as of right now is still very much safe and guaranteed.